When we see movie productions coming to the big screen, we already imagine that the production generated a high budget cost. However, it's not always the case. Many movies considered classics today had low budgets and became big highlights at the box office. With that in mind, this video is going to highlight the best low budget movies that have become huge blockbusters worldwide. Make sure you stick with me to the end, and without any further delay, let's get into it. Coming first on our list is Whiplash 2014. The dramatic movie about the ambitious jazz drummer won 3 Oscars and a Golden Globe. At first, the idea of the young director Damien Chazelle, who later directed the spectacular La La Land Singing Seasons, did not go over very well. The filmmakers found the musical thriller out of perspective. It seemed highly unlikely that the public would be interested in understanding the complexities of the relationship between a 19-year-old drummer and a professor at a jazz conservatory, but Chazelle decided to release the short movie anyway, though she did not anticipate that she would receive an award at the Sundance Independent Film Festival for her early work. After that, long attempts to turn Whiplash into a feature movie finally succeeded. The new movie became a real box office success and was among the top 10 movies of 2014. It turned out to be such a more intense than expected from the story of the emergence of young talent. The plot too is devoid of the sweetness normally present in movies of the genre. The characters' charisma and realism gave this work of art more credibility. The next best low-budget movie that has become huge big blockbuster to discuss is Get Out 2017. This low-budget detective satire from a budding director managed to come out ahead in every single category, winning the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay and being nominated for Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Picture. Initially, no one bet on this idea. The plot is a mix of genres combining dark humor, thriller, and horror. The movie also raises the problem of inequality that is present in social dramas. This is a difficult movie to define and evaluate, in addition to not being very clear about who the target audience is. For example, the movie can seem quite long for action lovers, as there's only one plot twist, which is revealed just before the end. However, viewers and critics not only forgave the hybridization of genres, but also considered the movie to be a true authorial thriller. Next is Slumdog Millionaire 2008. This criminal melodrama is based on the bestseller by Indian writer and diplomat Vikas Swarup. The book tells the story of an uneducated young man who was lucky enough to participate in a television show to earn money. The idea initially was not so simple. Director Danny Boyle, known for his movies Trainspotting and The Beach, decided to merge Hollywood and Bollywood. The result was a classic fairy tale about a poor but honest boy who eventually made it far, a kind of Cinderella story. However, the movie then portrayed the hopes of a common man of the people, won many awards, including some Oscars, Golden Globes, and even the American Actors Guild Awards. The creator have managed to harmoniously combine Indian slum drama with a fairy tale drama, leaving all who watch it wanting a better world. Next up, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2002. The directors of My Big Fat Greek Wedding managed to create a light romantic comedy which won the hearts of the main target audience, the Greeks. The strong point of the plot is not originality. All events revolve around a young Greek girl who falls in love with an American and causes a great deal of trouble with her family. Now the chosen one must adapt to a new foreign culture. The characters in the movie are quite striking, and the magnificent wedding itself at the end is presented very schematically. However, all the cliches are left behind because of the epic humor scenes which the public and critics have acclaimed. Furthermore, regardless of where you live, we are all familiar with noisy wedding celebrations and their consequences and possible unforeseen events. This was the secret of cinema magic, thanks to which the creators of My Big Fat Greek Wedding became more rich despite the modest budget and absence of major plot twists. The next best low-budget movie that has become huge big blockbusters in our list is Paranormal Activity 2007. This low-budget horror was shot in the style of a pseudo-documentary. There was no hope at first in the movie's success. Even so, however, the creators chose the genre with a target audience in mind. Also, the movie was made quite with simplicity. Filming lasted only a week and took place in the director's home. But it was because of this particular Paranormal Activity style that the story got onto the public's nerves. Uncomplicated at the first glance, the horror garnered phenomenal box office receipts and a lot of warm reviews. The movie review on a particular site said that Paranormal Activity is one of the scariest movies of all time. The plot will affect you, as it will be difficult to ignore the marks left on your psyche. What about Split 2016? The complex psychological thriller, far away from the blockbuster movie concept, was unexpectedly very well received at the worldwide box office, and all because of the immaculate works of director M. Night Shyamalan. Known for films like Stuart Little, The Sixth Sense, and After Earth, the actor James McAvoy, who had already played a character with multiple personalities in the adaptation of the novel by Irvin Welsh, Filth. The very fate of Billy Milligan, to whom the film is dedicated, is quite curious, and the director was not only able to tell a story that was been shown hundreds of times in documentaries in a different way, but also to build an intriguing plot from the symptoms of disease. It's hard to believe that a hit like this had such a disproportionately low budget. The next movie on our list is Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko has had an incredible journey since its debut in 2001. Many people still wonder how this low-budget movie starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Drew Barrymore managed to become the lasting cult classic everyone's familiar with today. Director Richard Kelly said that in 2000, when they shot the film, the budget was $4.5 million. That was a fair bit for a debut movie, but it did have Drew on board, and she was one of the casting elements. The movie was shot in 28 days, and while Gyllenhaal has Donnie Darko to thank for launching his career, he's admitted that he has never understood the movie. The movie made $7.5 million worldwide and received critical acclaim for the story, acting, and tone. Next up, The Terminator. Surprise? Well, don't be. The Terminator was a low-budget movie released with very little promotion during the early 90s. The movie's writer and director James Cameron had been living in his car and recently got caught breaking into the editing room of his previous film Piranha 2: The Spawning. Cameron didn't know that The Terminator would become a legendary franchise with a production budget of just $6.4 million. No one could have predicted the amount of cash that would play a role in its debut. The movie went on to make $78.4 million worldwide. We've all heard a reference to one of the film's most famous quotes, "I'll be back." It was said hauntingly by the Terminator, who, just as he said, did come back again and again. Another low-budget movie that became a big blockbuster is The Passion of the Christ. The Passion of the Christ was fully financed by director Mel Gibson, meaning he truly believed in this movie from day one. When the movie was created, there weren't any distributors willing to take it due to the controversial content. The movie was given an R rating due to violence and later became the highest-grossing R-rated movie in American history. The biblical drama depicts the final 12 hours of Jesus' life, ending with a depiction of his resurrection. Critics were torn on the film, with some calling it a religious classic, and others found the violence distracting and claimed there were undertones of anti-Semitism. The movie was made on $30 million budget, but brought in a whopping $611.9 million. Wrapping it up, we have The King's Speech. The historical drama starring Colin Firth was applauded by critics for its realistic portrayal of the life of Queen Elizabeth's father, King George VI, who suffered from a severe stammer. The movie amassed many awards, including Best Picture of the Year. This movie proved that you don't have to have absurd special effects and a large budget to make an award-winning film. Sometimes all you need is a beautiful storyline and an incredible performance. The movie, created on a budget of $15 million, earned $414.2 million worldwide. The film topped the UK box office for 4 consecutive weeks, but my friends, that's gonna conclude today's video. If you found this one helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to share the video with your friends and family. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.